What is going on, guys? It's your boy Addy back with another World of Warcraft video, and today we are going to be going over the revamp for patch 10.0 for the Dragonflight pre-patch, and today specifically my main Blood DK, because of course that's what I've been maining since I want to say like Legion. I think beginning of Legion I mained Blood, and I'm in love with it. So we are going to be going over the revamp. I'm going to leave this up for a while in case you guys want to screenshot it or just kind of pause the video and look over it. This is my class build over here on the left, and this is my blood spec build over here on the right. Obviously this is not a full build due to us only being able to be at level 60. Once we hit level 70, we will be able to get 5 more traits in both sides at a total of I think 31 over here on the left and 30 over here on the right. Yeah, I believe that's correct. Quote me if I'm wrong. But over here on the class side, this is kind of going to be your personal preference. You can kind of just go through my overlay right here and look, and then kind of go over the abilities I chose and see if that's something you would like. A lot of the stuff that I picked over here has to do with pretty much running like a Death Strike main build again with Blood DK, because we are going to be switching over to keeping 10 stacks of Bone Shield again. So that's what this playstyle is going to be. It's no longer about a Heart Strike and Dancing Rune Weapon and stuff like that. That's gone with the tier set. That's out the window. So we are going to be going back to maximizing 10 stacks of Merowin and utilizing pretty much the new build. So I'll go over it pretty quickly. Two of the best things right now is Permafrost and Gloom Ward. You need those two as a Blood DK no matter what. I don't care who you are, plus a veteran of the Third War. I ran a Bomb Limb just to have the extra DPS, and you know, you already know how it works. Recycle talent, it's really good. Right now I'm using Insidious Chill because your auto attacks reduce the target's auto attack speed by 5% for 30 seconds, stacking up to 4 times. So that's going to be nice out in the open world when we're questing and we're leveling up and all that good stuff, right? Eventually we'll be able to add more to this and to this, like I said, but this is pretty much going to be my leveling build going into Dragonflight, because there's not really too much to do at this point in time until the second pre-patch comes out on the 18th. So over here in the blood spec, Heartstrike, Merowin, Blood Boil, Vampiric Blood, Crimson Scourge, Death's Caress. That's pretty much like your ranged little plague dot. Ossuary. I definitely recommend taking this. Like I said, we're going to be utilizing the Merowin and keeping 10 stacks of Bone Shield. Once again, when you have 5 stacks of Bone Shield, the cost of Death Strike, the runic power goes down by 5, and when you have improved Death Strike over here, the cost is reduced by 5 and its healing is increased by 10%. Additionally, your maximum runic power is increased by 10. So pretty much you get 10, so it goes from what, 40? Yeah, 40 runic power down to 30, so that means you get an extra Death Strike off in your rotation. You'll get 4 instead of 3. Foul Bulwark, just because, like I said, each charge of Bone Shield increases your maximum health by 1%. We're going to be utilizing 10 stacks, so we need that. Bone Shield increases your haste by 10%, so you'll always have a 10% haste boost. Increases armor gained from Bone Shield by 10%. We need that because we're a tank. Right here, this pretty much is just Dancing Rune Weapon. This is pretty much like the tier set, where using Dancing Rune will generate 5 Bone Shield charges. When a charge of Bone Shield is consumed, the cooldown of Dancing Rune Weapon is reduced by 5 seconds, which later on down the line we'll come over here and get Tombstone so we can activate that faster. We can use the 5 Bone Shield, get the, you know, the shield, which instead of 6% of your maximum health for 8 seconds, it'll get buffed by the 15%. So however much more that is, they kind of stack on each other. Gore Fiend, you already know that ability if you play Blood. Improved hard strike. I'm only taking this right now for leveling purposes, um, just because this, I don't feel like this will be very effective in raid. I would rather take something else like Blood Feast and Shattering Bone or something like that. Like I said, the builds will change between Mythic Plus, outside leveling, and raiding. That's what loadouts are for. You can create one for all of them down here, save them, and interchange them as long as you're not in combat. Unless you are in Mythic Plus, you cannot change unless you leave the dungeon and come back inside. But raiding and outside world, you can change your talent tree before you engage. So that's super nice. You'll be able to do a lot of play around with that. Yeah, so Relish in Blood, Recycle Talent, Crimson Scourge pops. You drop Death and Decay, you get healed depending on how many Bone Shields you have. Once again, we're going to be going for 10 stacks, so this will be a good self-heal, self-sustain. Rapid Decomp, your Blood Plague and Death and Decay deal 15% more damage more often. Additionally, your Blood Plague leeches 50% more health, which is super nice because that's going to stack on stuff like this right here. I can't even pronounce it. Coagulopathy. Enemies affected by your Blood Plague take 5% increased damage from you, and your Death Strike increases the damage of your Blood Plague by 25% for 8 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So you get 5 stacks of that on top of, which was it, the leech you get from this, on top of the leech you get from Voracious, and all the haste ticks you're going to get from the being inside of your Death and Decay with Crimson Scourge. It's going to be a super nice synergy. So that's what these are. We're going to be able to run Bloodworms and Voracious. I'm going to mess around with Maw the Damned, or it was Maw the Damned. Consumption is the ability with some other stuff. I'm going to mess around with some stuff when it comes out. But other than that, Ironheart, Blood Shield's duration is increased by 2 seconds, and it absorbs 20% more damage. So we come back over to here, we get a 15% buff to this, and we also, while Blood Shield is active, you deal 25% increased physical damage. So 25% damage from this, 5 stacks of this is going to cause, you know, more Death Strike damage. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 we're going to get. So that's 50% damage, extra damage from Death Strike. And over here we get the healing buff, and we get the runic power, so it's just a really nice synergy on top of that. So all of these are going to play out. Once we hit level 70, I'll be able to complete the full talent build, which will be so much better for self-sustain and being a good tank. If there's anything else I can recommend with being a Blood Death Knight is if you are going to be questing. Oh yeah, actually, before we even get to that, Rune of Sanguination. This was introduced, I think, in Shadowlands. I don't know if it was in here before. Engrave your weapon with a rune that causes your Death Strike to deal increased damage based on the target's missing health. When you fall below 35% health, you heal for 48% of your maximum health over 8 seconds. So this is going to synergize really well with the Death Strike build we're going with, because we already got all those boosts in damage and like self-sustain with Death Strike, and this just is like the icing on the cake. It's like an execute for Blood Death Knights that just gives us an insane self-heal and shield. So I highly recommend taking this. For leveling purposes though, this guy right here, if you plan on leveling, I do recommend taking this because it's the little boost that matters. Engrave your weapon with the rune that increases your movement speed by 5%. Additionally, when you kill an enemy that yields experience or honor, you heal for 5% of your maximum health and gain 10% haste and movement speed. And Death Knights are slow, so self-heal, haste, movement speed, more DPS, more mobility. Take it. It will be worth it. And you also heal after you kill shit, so you're a tank. Big AoE DPS pools. But one more thing, guys, that I will recommend as a Blood Death Knight. If you haven't already tried farming for this weapon, I would, man. The ability is too good to pass up, man. Only because, like, when you activate the boon and you just start spreading, you know, your diseases, whatever, blood plague, and those dots start ticking, man, the self-sustain and the DPS is stupid good, man. And it does not get nerfed or taken away leaving Shadowlands. So this is a big DPS boost to blood DKs. I would farm Sepulcher and try and get this weapon off of the Jailer, 100%. But other than that, guys, if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. If you found this video useful, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to come back for more content. We're going to be pushing out a lot of Blood DK content, and we'll most likely be trying to stream leveling 60 to 70, and from there on out, whatever, you know, we're going to be doing like Mythic 0 circuits before reset and all that good stuff, guys. But yeah, just want to go ahead and say that I went with a nice mog for the dragon theme. Ashkandi. But alright guys, I will catch you in the next video. Probably when, I want to say maybe the next pre-patch drops and we can actually get some content going. I'll try this build out in Mythic Plus and stuff and see if I like it. If not, I'll just change some stuff around, but this is what we have for now. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Deuces.